Hello YouTubers. Today we'll be doing lesson 3 on playing violin. A quick recap of last lesson. We did what we referred to as the train track ride in rest position, having our thumb over both, but not over the fingerboard, over both colours on the neck, right? Nice curved round fingers. On that line is where your index finger touches the neck of the violin. And we did the train track ride in rest position as well, and then in playing position as such, making sure that it is our arm that moves. A way to check is imagine that your wrist is being pulled on a little string. Yes, it's your entire arm. It's not your wrist that does it, it's your arm which follows. Nothing lags behind. Okay, right. We then did our little bow exercises, which can be known as, we did the windscreen wipers with the lovely bow hand, nice and round, not collapsed. We did the windscreen wipers. We did the stirring of the pot in big motions and then in small motions. We did the writing of our name on the roof in big letters and in little letters. We sang the song Incy Wincy Spider, climbing up and climbing down. Right. Then we decided that we were going to put our bow on our strings. So, putting a violin in playing position, up, and just drop your arm onto the string. Now, how high do we keep our elbow? Well, that is simply by putting a bow on your bridge and tracing the shape of your bridge with your bow, and then just moving it along. So we discussed all of this in lesson 2, which you can find on the playlist, Building Blocks. Right. So before you carry on to lesson 3, it is very important that all these lessons are in place. Okay. Right. The next step that we're going to do, making sure that your bow hand is fairly settled, does not creep up, none of this. You need to make sure that you are fairly relaxed when you play. Right. The next step we're going to do is we're going to do the train track ride all the way down the neck, but we're not going to move up again. Right. Now this is where it becomes very important. You're going to make your fingers straight, but you're gonna put it down on the string. That's it. But you're going to pull it back into a square. There is our lovely little square shape. Now you'll see your first finger, when it is bent, is in line with your thumb. Yes, that's what it looks like. You have a lovely V for violin down there, making sure that it's not resting in your hand and that your wrist is not collapsed. Yes? Right. So, starting on the A string is where I normally start. We have 7 letters in the musical alphabet, which are repeated. Right? So this is our A string. So then, pulling our finger into that lovely little square, as such, approximately a index finger space, right, will be our first note, B, right, A, and then after A comes B. It is a good idea to pluck it. Now, how do we pluck with the right hand? Well, it's fairly simple. Thumb against the fingerboard, your right hand thumb, and you just pluck with the fingers. Make sure that your thumb is frequently there. Yes? Okay. So, that is how we put our first finger down. Our next finger would be C sharp, right? But you'll notice that I'm actually not putting it down directly next to it. I'm leaving a space, approximately almost a 2-finger space. Now, how are you going to know how far to go? 2 things. One, you have to listen, and two, your second knuckle of your middle finger almost touches the first knuckle of your first finger. Right. And then that is about the gap you put it down. Right. Now you'll notice my wrist is not collapsed. My hand is nice and round, and I've got that lovely square shape with my fingers. Right. Your first two fingers are not actually placed sideways. They actually do face forward. Right? As such. Like so. Your third finger, and you'll see the lines on my fingers over there, showing exactly where they go. Right. The third finger touches your second finger. Absolutely. That finger does not face forward. The fourth finger actually has a space, so it's very difficult to put that down. Notice what happens to my wrist when I do. I actually move it out. Okay. Right. It is best to do this standing because my elbow, if it's over your left foot, standing, shoulder width apart, it will be easier for you to put down the fourth finger. Now, thumb is normally over there. You'll have to bring it under, and you'll have to bring your elbow forward to put your fourth finger down. Right. So, I will put a little link, or I'll put a picture of it over here in our video, of a finger chart of the first position of the violin. That's what we, as violinists, spend playing most in. Yes? Spend most of our time playing in. So I'll put that after the video. And then from there on, it is a good idea to learn only this first finger frame. Yes? So on the A string, it's A, which is open, B, C sharp, D, space, E. And that fourth finger, E, should have the same sound as your open string E. On the E string, it's F sharp, right? F sharp, G sharp, A, and B. And on your D string, it is E, F sharp, G, and A. And on your G string, it's A, B, C, fourth finger D, which is the same as your D string. Right. That is the discussion of first position. Right. So have a look at that chart. Your homework is to fiddle around with that chart a little bit. Avoid all the things in between. It's only this pattern that you're looking for. Yes? No, nothing lower, nothing in between. It's just this pattern. Have a little fiddle. Play a bit around with your bow, making sure your bow stays straight. And you keep on practicing this exercise, which we also did in the second video. And then from there on out, it shouldn't be too difficult to get a good sound out of a select few notes. Right. Good way about going about it is by learning our notes in a group. Okay. A group of 8 notes, we always start on the note. The starting note we count as 1. We call an octave. When they follow upon each other in succession, we call this a scale. Right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to learn the G major scale. Right. So we're going to start on our G string. Yes? Right. Open G. First finger would then be what comes after G in the alphabet? A. Space. Second finger, B. C right next to it. We're going to leave the fourth finger out. Next string, D. First finger. Second finger. And third finger. And then we're going to come back. see if you can figure out that scale. And then in the next lesson, we'll learn some new scales and we'll learn how to navigate our way around the fingerboard. Thank you.